Good afternoon, members of the committee. Thank you so much for hearing all this testimony. My name is Bridget Kearney, and I too am here to voice support for H2591 S1720, enact to build restorative and family connection. I live in Holyoke out in Western Massachusetts, and I'm a clinical social worker and therapist in community mental health. I'm also here as a member of the Keeping Families Connected Coalition. Our mission is to advocate for policies that promote communication, connection, and support between individuals who are incarcerated in Massachusetts and their loved ones, and for full implementation of these policies, and also to center people most impacted by that issue in our work. I'm here today because I believe in the right of every citizen to have dignity and connection, and I believe this bill serves that purpose and makes common sense improvements to the visitation policies in prison throughout Mass. The community I live in, Holyoke, is deeply impacted by the carceral state. In our city, we see the criminalization of poverty and addiction occurring daily. Many of us know someone, either directly or indirectly, it's been not just the individual who suffers, it's the whole family. I have personally, and in my capacity as a therapist, seen the impacts of the restrictive visitation policies on individuals and families. I've worked with parents as well as children who cannot easily visit in person with their loved one and who are experiencing stress and depression because of the separation. The lack of children and family areas, the ability for the DOC to cancel at the last minute for any number of reasons, and the adoption visit scheduling, all of which you've heard about today, have all had a dampening effect on visitation. Data collection by Prisoners Legal Services indicates that visits have been steadily dropping from about 128,000 in 2018 to just over 19,000 in the first 6 months of 2025. So we're seeing a direct impact, in the numbers. I've also worked with individuals in therapy returning home after serving time who have struggled to regain their place in the community and their sense of self. They felt alienated from their social networks and their families felt unsure of how to support them after years of limited contact. And the experience of being incarcerated is deeply traumatizing. Most individuals will experience some form of depression or trauma-related symptoms resultant from this experience. Without solid connections to see them through their time and without clear social supports when they return home, it is reasonable to expect that people will experience relapse or mental health crisis, which then can lead to more interactions with law enforcement. Locally out here, there's a lot of discussion about how to address the opioid epidemic. Increasing visitation and community connection while people are incarcerated is one way of supporting recovery, and it's a way of reducing interaction with law enforcement once they return, and thus impacting positively this epidemic on our community. A study in 2023 focusing on rural Mass found that 85% of recently incarcerated people out here had used substances in the previous 30 days. The DOC has not provided any evidence that their visitation restrictions have led to a decline in drug use while incarcerated. When treating SUD, it's imperative to have good social supports to champion and promote recovery. Isolating someone from family while incarcerated can increase depression and create conditions for a relapse upon release. Stable mental health relies upon hope for the future, and this is what we're cultivating by ensuring connection through visitation. There are already so many barriers to reintegrating due to discrimination and formerly incarcerated people face in finding work and housing. Making it easier for them to remain connected to their supports and therefore reducing one of the stressors in returning home would go a long way towards making reintegration more successful. Please consider voting this bill out favorably. I see the impact of the carceral system every day, and I feel strongly that this bill would make my community a better place to live. Thank you very much for your time.